I just got this. I'm sorry.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sir, is your name Thomas Lawrence May?
My name is Thomas Lawrence May. Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second. Mr. Isles, are you there? Can you hear me?
Sorry, I am, Your Honor. I apologize for my attire. I'm in Florida taking care of my father who fell out of bed and had to be taken to the hospital. So I was unaware that this was going to happen when I left, and I don't have my suit with me.
All right, certainly, no problem. But thank you for saying that. We do have Mr. Ziegler connected now, as well as Mr. Barrett. We'll go on the record. This is People versus Thomas Lawrence May, case number 244826. The record should reflect Mr. May is present today by Zoom video, along with his counsel, Mr. Isles. Again, we have Mr. Barrett present on behalf of the probation and Mr. Ziegler on behalf of the people, all parties by Zoom. Mr. May, you're before the court today for arraignment on some alleged probation violations. Just to make a record, Mr. Barrett, I received a communication this morning indicating that you were going to dismiss count 1 of the violations. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. That was charged inadvertently by me. It was a mistake on my part. There was an email correspondence back in late May from the defendant notifying me that he did have police contact in relation to in regards to the current violation.
Okay, so Mr. Isles, there's 4 counts in the alleged probation violation. Count 1 had to do with reporting the police contact, so that's going to be dismissed. So there are 3 alleged violations left. Count 2, Mr. May, alleges that you violated condition 5.1 of your probation, which in that you drove a motor vehicle on or about August 31st without a driver's license. That's a technical violation. Mr. Barrett, have there been any previous technical violations in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So Mr. May, if you're found guilty of that violation, the maximum penalty you can face would be up to 15 days in jail. You're also charged with 2 non-technical probation violations. At count 3, you're alleged to have violated condition 1 of your probation in that on or about May 26th of 24, you assaulted Bridget May. Count 4, also that you violated condition 1 of your probation in that on or about August 30th, 2024, you operated a motor vehicle without a driver's license. If you're found guilty of either of those violations, it could subject you to the maximum penalty on your underlying charge, which would be up to 5 years. Do you understand the allegations and the maximum penalties that you could face?
I do.
All right, you do have the right to have a hearing as to whether or not you actually did violate your probation as alleged. You also have the right to counsel. Of course, Mr. Isles is present on your behalf today. Mr. Isles, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. May?
Not since I received what the violation, the counts of the violations. I have not. However, Your Honor, we're going to ask for a hearing on this matter. I would note that my client has been very successful in sobriety court. We disagree with the count indicating he assaulted his daughter. Quite frankly, we believe that it was a ploy by the child's mother to try to gain custody. There's been a hearing on that already. The problem that we have is twofold. I'm here to ask for bond. Number one, my client has liver cancer, had surgery this spring. He's been unable to work. He works as running his own business, cutting down trees, and he's just been diagnosed with colon cancer. In fact, on Friday, he has to be in the hospital for a procedure. So, today, all I would like to do is say not guilty, not responsible for any of these, and set this up for down the road, since logistically I'm down in Florida, was traveling when this all occurred, and asked to set a bond to get him out so he can get to the hospital. It's my understanding that the daughter, who had spent the summer with her mother, is now back in his household but she has been taken back to her mother as of yesterday. So the no contact issue will be resolved that way.
All right, thank you. So the court will enter not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. May with regard to each of these charges. I will set this for a hearing. We'll set it for at least 30 days out. Mr. Isles, do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor, that would be helpful.
All right, Mr. Barrett or Mr. Ziegler, any objection to that time frame for the hearing?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor, and I have no objection to bond either.
Okay, Mr. Barrett or Mr. Ziegler, do you have any recommendations given for conditions of bond?
Your Honor, I would just note that I'm aware of Mr. May's history. He's in the sobriety court program. While Mr. Isles and I probably disagree about the nature of the underlying offense, we don't disagree about Mr. May's need for treatment in the coming days and his diagnoses. So I would ask the court to either give him a PR bond or a low bond that he would be able to post.
Okay, given what the parties have indicated here on the record today, and despite the fact that one of these does involve some assaultive behavior, given the other mitigating circumstances, I find that a PR bond would be appropriate pending a hearing. So the court will set this as a $500 personal recognizance bond. So Mr. May, you don't have to pay that money to be released, but if you fail to comply with the conditions of your bond, you may be subject to that. The court will also include as the conditions of bond all terms and conditions of probation. So Mr. May, you're still going to be subject to all the terms and conditions of your probation while this is pending, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barrett or Mr. Ziegler, anything further from your side today?
Just that, Mr. May, when you're released, just report to the office before you leave, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Isles, anything we missed from your side?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Mr. May, did you have any questions at all?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's all for this hearing today. All parties are free to disconnect at this time.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.